Very much, Senator Payman.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening. Let's hope fourth time lucky. My questions relate to the amendments to the Fair Work Registered Organisations Act 2009. The amendments that were made this year, which enabled the construction and general division of the CFMEU to be put into administration. Under Section 323HA of the Act, how many complaints has the Administrator received regarding the actions of the members of the CFMEU?
The Administration, and I'd like to table a report that I received from the Administrator on Monday of this week that outlines some of his activities and that of his office. If you would just persist, I'd actually like to go through a number of these activities. I'm mindful of time as well. And I'll ask for it to be tabled now, please. But the report indicates the Administrator has facilitated the application of enterprise agreements to the Commission. And from our records at the Commission, we can confirm that approximately 300 applications for approval of enterprise agreements have been received since the Administration commenced 10 weeks ago. We've also been advised that we can expect a further 350 applications by the end of the calendar year. This equates to approximately 7 enterprise agreement applications made for every working day since the Administration commenced to the end of the year. The Administrator has advised that they've recovered $3.5 million in member funds from third parties.
So what was that, $3.5 million in
members' funds?
Members' funds.
Yep, from third parties. The report highlights the urgent need for enhanced worker safety, including the tragedy of lives lost at work in the building and construction industry. He has established a whistleblowing and complaints handling system and policy. He's initiated disciplinary, this goes to your specific question, initiated disciplinary processes, some of which have resulted in the termination of some CFMEU employees. He has commenced investigations into alleged conduct in South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria. He has developed and released an interim menacing conduct policy, including issuing directions through his executive officers to all organisers prohibiting menacing conduct in their operations. He's also released the interim report of Jeffrey Watson SC and the Administrator's substantive response to that report. Now, these documents are available on the CFMEU's website, and the Administrator has engaged Mr Watson SC to continue his investigations into in a number of things, including the alleged infiltration of elements of organised crime into the division. The Administrator and his staff have also communicated and met, and they continue to meet with a wide range of people across the division and the building construction industry more broadly. Now, in terms of the operations of the Administrator, the Administrator is responsible for the activities of the Construction and General Division of the CFMEU. He's operating independent of government and will make decisions as he sees fit in accordance with the laws that under the Administration Act, but also the Registered Organisation Act and all other laws that apply to the lawful conduct of that union.
So 300 applications have been received. How many investigations have been initiated since those complaints or applications were submitted? Because you did mention a few examples, but do you have a figure of how many investigations? Just
to clarify there, the number 300 is the applications that we've received, enterprise agreement applications, which is a core function of the union in representing the interests of members. So what I'm saying is that the Commission, the Fair Work Commission, has received approximately 300 applications to approve enterprise agreements.
So not complaints?
They're not complaints. And
I think your question, Senator Payman, was how many complaints had the Administrator received?
Yes.
I'm not sure that. I think the figures that Mr Furlong has given you relates to matters that the Fair Work Commission has received rather than the Administrator.
Right. So are you able to answer questions on behalf of the administrator?
No, the administrator is operating independently of government, and in terms of the complaints that the number of complaints that he
But you don't represent the
received,
government as the Fair Work Commission, right?
No, I'm an independent statutory officer.
Yeah, exactly. And so would you have oversight on the amount of complaints that the administrator has received? I mean, you've had the report from the administrator provided to you.
And I've tabled that, Senator.
Yeah.
My role under the Administration Act was outlined in a statement that I issued a number of weeks ago on the 3rd of October. One of the areas that it goes to is the effective implementation of the scheme, and that if I'm satisfied that there are reasonable grounds to do so, I may investigate whether the scheme has been effectively implemented. Notwithstanding that, the administrator does not report to me, does not report to the government. He is responsible for the operations of the Construction and General Division and operates at arm's length from and is independent from the government.
Having said that, the legislation requires the administrator to provide me with a report every 6 months that will be tabled in Parliament. So it'll be a matter for the administrator what he includes in that report, but that's the public reporting mechanism.
And so how do we get updates from the administrator and hold them to account in terms of how they are utilising the hard-earned members' money and funds to actually deliver the outcome that they're set up to achieve? Because if there's no oversight body, are we saying that this administration is just free to do what it wants? And we've heard earlier, we've had this discussion where the millions that are going into funding not just the salaries of some officials that I've outlined earlier, but the administrator himself. So where is the oversight?
It's by providing, he will be providing 6 monthly reports effectively to the Parliament through me.
In addition to that, Senator, the administrator is also holds all the responsibilities that the division would normally have under the Registered Organisations Act. And as the regulator of all registered organisations, that's employer associations and unions, the division is still required to meet all of their obligations under that Act.
So until we receive the 6 monthly report, we won't know how many findings of corruption or criminality that the administrator may have found over the months of work it's doing. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's probably right, bearing in mind that we've already had last night and today a number of different authorities provide evidence on the number of allegations they're investigating, the charges they're laying. So the administrator plays one role in this, but police matters are going to be prosecuted, or charges will be laid by the police. The AFP have given evidence on where they're up to. The Fair Work Ombudsman just gave evidence on where they're up to. The Fair Work Commission has done the same. So it's not as if it's the administrator who is the only person who has a role in this process.
You think that they would have a direct role and would report back at least sooner than 6 months, because, yeah, not much movement's happening. Chair, that's all from me.
Good, thanks.